So tonight's gate is the second highest in Amway history. First place is the Eagles. The Eagles beat us by $30,000. That's a stinger right there. I will stop talking shit about Florida now. You're welcome. The attendance tonight was 17,000. The gate was $1.65 million. The biggest Fox gate ever. So, fight of the night, Alves and Baczynski. Those guys won $50,000. And the performance bonuses went to Cerrone and Alex White. So congrats, you guys. Yep. More fun money for Cerrone. Who's got the first question?
We'll start out with Thiago, please. Obviously, congratulations. I know this was an emotional night, being out for so long. Can you kind of tell us how you're feeling and how good it felt to be back in there?
I feel pretty good. It was definitely, a special experience, fighting back here, especially in Orlando. But I feel pretty good. Everything worked out great.
Obviously, a tough fight for you tonight, but what do you see for yourself? You lost a lot of time. Are you wanting to get back and get real active as quickly as possible, or do you need a little time to heal up after a war?
No, I think, I'm shooting for 2 more fights this year at least, so I'll be back training in a week.
If I could for Cowboy as well. Cowboy, obviously a tough start for you tonight. What was going through your head as it was unfolding? Because it looked like you kind of had a little bit of speed advantage on you early on.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on in my mind, but then the 2 golden words, fuck it, came in, and I just had to turn it on, so it was good.
And obviously, I know you've said you want to fight like 6 times. There's the June show, I believe, in Albuquerque. Is that one scream out to you? Or
Any fight. I'm ready for Baltimore next weekend if that's a possibility. So really, as many fights as I can. I just need someone. I hear guys talking about they don't get paid enough. If you wanted to sign on the dotted line, I'll help you. I'll be your Huckleberry, so we'll be ready to go.
Dana, 17,000. Did you see enough from Orlando to want to come back sooner rather than later?
I'll come back next weekend. I'm in. I'm sold.
And is that
it's a great town too? I had fun here. The couple days that I was here, it's all, I gotta thank Shaq too. Shaq's been terrorizing me for years to come here. He said it. He told me a couple years ago, go to Orlando. Orlando's where it's gonna be, and he was right.
Do you know off the top of your head if that 17,000 is a record for a non-pay-per-view?
That I don't know. You mean as far as attendance, how many people?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be.
Well, did you see anything from Khabib? He's obviously undefeated. He's 6-0 in the UFC. Do you see anything from him that can warrant a #1 contender or a title shot anytime soon?
I don't know. I don't like making those decisions the night of the fight, but yeah, he's impressive and he looks good, and he's working his way there for sure.
Hi, Dana, to your left.
Hey.
What did you think about Fabrizio's performance? He looked impressive, but what did you personally think?
Travis Brown? Yeah.
No, Fabricio.
Oh, Fabricio? He picked him apart. He fought a safe fight to guarantee that he was going to get. I think he could have finished Travis. But Travis is a tough guy. My question was, how did Travis gas out in the 2.5 minutes into the first round? And they think he has a broken rib. They think he broke his rib in the first round. That would explain it.
And he
definitely has a broken hand.
And obviously a great night for the Mexico City event. Now Verdum is getting to headline. And he also is, he is your analyst for the UFC network in Latin America. He's a very public face of the company in Latin America. It couldn't have worked better for you guys, right?
Yeah, listen, however it works out, it works. It is what it is. I don't ever think I stopped thinking like that years ago. So whatever would have happened tonight happened, and we would have rolled with it. And it doesn't suck that he is the face and speaks Spanish and all that stuff. It doesn't suck.
And can we talk about maybe Kane and Verdum being the coaches of the Ultimate Fighter in Latin America?
Anything is possible.
Thanks.
Dana, on the main event, when you were talking about Verdum's performance, you kind of mentioned that Brown gassed out, and you said that, Verdum could have finished the fight. So as a whole, was it a performance that made you say, yeah, I really want to see him fight Kane, or were you slightly disappointed?
I think that... I think that he could have finished the fight. I think he could have. I think he played it safe. He knew he was winning. So it leaves questions. How much more could he go? How much more could he give? You know what Kane's going to do. Kane's 100 miles an hour. He comes forward. he does damage and never stops damaging you until he finishes you. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And then just one for you, Misha. You kind of had a slow start, which you're not known for. Typically, you're known for really fast starts. And I was wondering, you had kind of spoke about wanting to change your style a little bit and maybe not just run forward into your opponents. Was that played into that, or was it just a slow start?
I don't know, man. I was just trying not to be a psycho in the fight and be a little bit more calculated. But I don't know. I think, I was struggling with a mental hurdle. Just losing 2 in a row was really rough. And, starting to think, like, am I cursed? Am I just, going through all those, like, weird questions. And, I started off slow. Just there's a fine line for me between thinking and going. And when I go, that's what happens in the third round. When I'm thinking, that's what happens in the first round. And it took me a minute to, like, be like, hey, you know what? I got to go. And I'm definitely capable of a better. Anyone who's ever seen me fight, can say, yeah, it's not typical for me to start slow. But I did this fight. But I'm over the hurdle now. You know what I mean? I won the fight. And I'm happy, I got my first UFC victory, and I think that's gonna motivate me more.
Question for Dana. I know you don't match make right after these things. We talk about this all the time, but
you're gonna ask me anyway, right?
Time being of the essence on this particular thing with Bobby Green having gone out of his fight next week in Baltimore. We got a volunteer here. Would you even consider that, putting him in a fight that quickly?
Listen, I love this kid. He's nutty as hell. 6 fights in a year. Listen, if this kid could fight 16 times in a year, I'd love to have him on every card. He is a show starter. He always, you're guaranteed Cerrone's gonna get the show started. But I don't even know if that's ever been done. I mean, guys have fought 5 times in a year. I would love to put him on every card. Let's see what happens, and let's see how healthy he is and if he can really turn around.
You had Lieben within 2 weeks of one another once, so.
Yeah, no, it's true. I hear you.
Thank you. For Dana, what do you expect from Verdum versus Cain, and what do you expect from Mexican people in Mexico City?
I expect that to be a great fight. I'm excited for Cain to come back. Cain's fights are always exciting and fun. He's a different type of heavyweight. He goes at a speed that other heavyweights can't go. He can go 5 rounds, and he never stops. He does constant damage, and he just keeps going until he finishes you. And I'm very excited about Mexico. All the people from Televisa were here tonight, and they're excited about it. We're excited about it. Latin America and Mexico are a part of the world that I've been dying to get to, and now it's all coming together, and we're finally doing it, and I'm very excited about it. Thank you.
I have a question for Cowboy. Obviously, after your fight, the crowd seemed to be the loudest I've heard it in my 2 years of covering sports here. Do you think there's something about the Central Florida fans that they just attract to you? Do you think it could be the NASCAR, the Budweiser sponsorship? Do you think there's something that attracts them?
I hope so. I really do. It was awesome to walk out and hear the place erupt. That gives you a lot of momentum going into a fight and into my next fight. So hopefully the UFC is like, yeah, let's get Cowboy on a very soon card.
Would you like to see it be back on a card here in Orlando again?
Oh, yeah. Orlando was awesome, man. I love Orlando. I got my man Rusty living down here and wakeboard every day, so I love Orlando.
Wakeboarding, doing flips off Shaq's pool day before the fight.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Shaq, for that.
Yep.
Dana,
Yep.
I wanted to get your thoughts on the fight between Misha and Liz. Who did you think won that fight?
I thought Liz won rounds 1 and 2, and I thought Misha won the 3rd round. But it's one of those things where if you look at the 2nd round, Liz didn't really do any damage. She took her down, she held her. If you give Misha points for submission attempts, it's not crazy to say that Misha won the fight either. And if you want to guarantee yourself a victory, take the judges out of it. Finish fights, you know what I mean? I say it all the time. I mean, does anybody here? I'm sure other people thought Liz won the fight too. But if you look at what Liz did in the fight, just laid on her and didn't do any damage, it's not crazy to say that you could have gave it the 2nd round to Misha.
And Misha, what was going through your mind immediately after the fight? Did you feel confident you won it, or did you think it was up in the air?
No, I wasn't confident I won it, to be perfectly honest. I really thought that like, I was like, man, I honestly actually thought that Liz probably won the fight because she had more riding time. But I haven't watched the fight. That's just what was going through my mind. I knew she won round one, and in round two, like I said, she kind of just held me there for a while. And from what I heard from other people, the reason that the judges said I won round two was based on damage. You know, the fact that I was staying busy when she was just holding me. I was trying to throw elbows. I had the guillotine attempt. I had the sweep and popped up and did some damage, you know, towards the end of the round. So I think it was the reason I won the round was just based on damage. And that's all I can really say. You know, I haven't watched the fight.
Were you surprised by her game plan in the first round?
No, I wasn't. Honestly, I expected that Liz is capable of taking the fight anywhere. You know, like I said, she started this all at the same time, so I wasn't. And I figured after the first round she was going to do the same thing in the second and try to do it in the third. So once I figured that out and actually went go mode, I was like, all right, I'm going to turn this around and make it into my fight. But next time it'll be a faster start.
Hello, Dana. Given Verdum's strong performance tonight, you know, a lot of people, when you originally tried to sell the fight for Kane and Verdum, a lot of people were like, he's a viable contender because he's dangerous on the ground. Kane takes people down and bashes them, but maybe it won't be so easy with Verdum. So maybe he uses defensive wrestling to keep it standing against Verdum. But now, given tonight's performance, Verdum looked great standing up.
Yep.
Maybe it makes it even easier for you to sell that Verdum's very dangerous opponent for Kane. You agree?
He is a dangerous, and again, I don't think we saw all of Verdum's tools tonight. I think he had him hurt in the first round, and you know, now he might have a broken rib. It totally explains why he would gas out halfway through the first round. I mean, it's a testament to how tough that guy is. To try to fight 5 rounds with a broken rib, but that totally makes sense. I think that Verdum played it safe tonight to guarantee that title shot, and who knows what can happen when he fights Kane. Because Kane's going to come right after him, 100%, the way that Travis would have tonight. And I'll tell you this, too. Any questions about Verdum's chin probably go away after that big shot he took in the first round. He got hit with a big right hand, and I thought he was done. I thought the fight was about to be over, and he came back and fought great.
Over here, Dana.
Yep.
Oh, I'll be speaking English this time.
Thank you. Please do.
Actually, big congratulations to all the South Florida fighters. And did you guys feel the hometown energy getting into the arena? There was a big cheer when you guys coming on. Any difference between this fight and your other UFC fights?
Yeah, it was great. You know, especially for me, 2 years without a fight. You know, and here in this paper chair, it was pretty special.
I definitely felt the difference. I loved it. You know, I got a lot of fans that drove from Miami and a lot of family members, so I could feel the energy in the arena as soon as I stepped out there.
For Habib, please. Obviously, this was a dominating victory against a very tough opponent, but the crowd wasn't always necessarily approving of it. I'm curious how he thought his performance was tonight.
Что ты можешь сказать про свое выступление сегодня? Ты очень хорошо провел бой, доминировал его, но публика, может, не совсем была согласна с этим. Как ты опишешь свою?
Ну, соперник был на 5-м месте в рейтинге UFC. И я думаю, что я провел очень хороший бой. Я доволен своим боем. И вообще вся десятка легкого веса, им тяжело будет со мной, если они не научатся бороться.
Well, I think, you know, I had a very tough opponent. He's ranked number 5. I think I did pretty well tonight, and I think all of top 10 really need to learn wrestling if they want to compete with me.
And a lot of people thought that he should have been on the main card on Fox tonight. Did he feel at all disrespected that he was on the prelims, and what does he feel like he deserves next?
Ты считал, что ты должен был
What kind
быть
of bullshit question is that? What are you, the new Ariel Helwani or something here?
I'm just a translator.
My question is for
He was
Dane.
the main event. He was the main event of on Fox Sports 1. Yeah, sure. Let him answer the question.
Хабиб, ты считаешь, что ты должен был быть на мейн-карде сегодня? Как бы ты считаешь, что это было, может, неуважительно, то, что тебя не было там?
Нет, честно говоря, я так не считаю. Ну, может быть, в мейнкарде должен быть, но мне без разницы было, где драться, в ринге, в октагоне или там в зале. Я готовился против него, и если даже это было бы не в мейнкарде или в мейнкарде, по-любому сетка закрывается, и мне без разницы было.
Honestly, it really didn't matter to me, whether it was main card, cage, ring, whatever it is. It really didn't matter.
And quickly, if I could, for Yoel, this was, I thought, the best, most complete performance of your career so far. Was there something different? How did you approach the fight?
Él pensaba que esta pelea fue la más completa en lo que tú usaste. ¿Fue algo especial que tú hiciste o preparación especial que hiciste para esta pelea?
Bueno, el trabajo que veníamos haciendo mediante todo este tiempo que hemos estado trabajando con mi colectivo ha ido saliendo y eso fue lo que pasó. Hoy empezamos, la pelea se fue dando como veníamos planeando. Empezaron, mis entrenadores me dijeron, vamos a hacer un poco más de mixed martial, ¿entiendes? Se sabe que lo que estábamos haciendo en las últimas peleas era un poco más de boxeo, entonces vamos a hacer un poco más de mixed martial.
Okay, we've been training all along to build up to what we wanted to do depending on the fight we were having. And this fight was the first fight that we were not going to be doing just boxing, but bring a little bit more of the mixed martial arts into the game.
And just quickly, if I could, for Fabricio as well, obviously congratulations on the win. Even people that thought you were going to win this fight, I don't think many people thought you were going to outstrike Travis Brown and do it that way. Did you see the fight playing out that way in your head, or is that just the way things ended up happening in the cage?
Muitas pessoas achavam, mesmo as pessoas que achavam que tu ia ganhar a luta, não acreditavam que tu ia ganhar dele do jeito que tu ganhou. Se isso foi uma coisa que tu planejou ou isso aconteceu naturalmente?
Yes, I'm just I improving my training. I'm training a lot for this fight because I know this is the step for the title shot. I'm training every day. I'm never stopped the training. I'm not fight for a long time. My last fight with Nogueira in Brazil. I'm just keep going the training, keep going because I know my dream is the belt. I'm just training every day. When I say for the guys, Tuesday, Thursday, I train like 6-7 hours. Nobody believe myself, but I'm just showing the cage today. It's good English, yeah? Yeah, nice. I'm trying.
Yeah, I was wondering that at the press conference. I mean, I've been in meetings with this guy for an hour. He speaks English, and then he's got a translator on Thursday.
Everybody understands, but Dan White never understand me. When I have a meeting with him, they say yes, and just say yes. Hey, Dana, give me money. Yes, yes.
My question is for Fabricio. Over here, Fabricio. Atrás. When we spoke in February, you alluded to one of the...
Spanish too.
In Spanish.
Going
Cuando te entrevisté en febrero, tú dijiste que una de las cosas que tú pensabas que tenías una ventaja sobre Travis Brown era su falta de cardio, su falta de oxígeno, y tú pensabas que tú podías explotar eso, ¿no? ¿Eso era parte del game plan tú tenías planeado llevarlo a los rounds finales o eso fue algo que ocurrió de esta manera? I'll say it in English. And when we spoke in February, you alluded to Travis Brown's cardio being one of the things that you could exploit. I'm wondering if that was part of your game plan, if you actually implemented that into your game plan, or if it just kind of happened that way.
Sí, yo solo quisiera poder enseñar mi entrenamiento dentro del cage. Yo creo que lo he hecho muy bien. Yo creo que salió bien todo. Claro que yo quisiera someterle o noquearle, pero Travis Brown es durísimo, es dificílimo pelear con uno que es tan grande, ¿no? Y yo me he visto un poquito más rápido y como tú has dicho, yo creo que él no tenía el cardiovascular, que yo sé que entrené muchísimo para esto. Como te dije, entrenaba de 8 hasta las 2 de la tarde con Cobrinha, entonces eso me ayudó bastante, ¿no? Entonces, yo creo que esa vez ha sido la vez que más entrené en mi vida, porque como dije antes, yo sabía que ese era el pasaporte para mi pelea, de mi gran sueño, ¿no? Entonces, yo creo que podría, sin submetimar, eso es, a él, pero yo creo que podría hacer como 2 o 3 rounds más. Estaba muy bien, estaba muy confiado y no sé si habéis visto, pero yo estaba aprovechando ese momento y eso me gusta mucho. No estoy dentro del cage como una obligación, me encanta estar ahí.
Who the hell's going to translate that?
Yeah, I can't even keep. I can't even try this.
All right, here's a try. So Yeah, it was part of my game plan to obviously exploit his cardio situation. Now, I knew going in that it was going to be tough to submit him or anything of the type because he was such a tough opponent and going in deeper rounds. And then I knew even if I was going to try to submit it, it would be a couple, 2 to 3 rounds to do it. So I decided, that the cardio was going to be the way to beat him going through it. And then he said a lot of other stuff after that.
He also said that it's hard to fight with a big guy like that. And he knows that he had to train a lot of cardio for this fight. It was the time that he most trained on his career. And he was ready to fight more if he has to.
One more for Dana.
That was so long they needed 2 translators.
One more, if I can, for Dana and Misha. With Gina Carano being such a hot topic of conversation, assuming that the UFC can reach an agreement with her, how do you feel about a fight between her and Cupcake?
Well, we don't have a deal with her yet. She's still under a Strikeforce deal, which ends in June, and I'm confident that we will, but we'll see what happens. But until we have a deal with her, we're not even thinking about anything.
I'd like it. I'll take that fight all day long, for sure. I mean, I'll fight anybody, but I'd love to fight Gina.
Fabricio, a couple questions for you. It sounded like when you went up and you had your Fox interview that you were giving those guys a hard time for picking against you.
Pareceu que quando foi agora na Fox, tu estava fazendo brincadeiras com o cara porque eles estavam escolhendo o Travis Brown ao invés de ti.
Yeah, just like because I'm very happy for me win this fight. I just say who put money on Travis Brown? The guy is like a head. How say como é que eles ficaram vermelho?
They got red.
The head like a head. Those balls, huh? The blood. The guys are like a very shy. Shy, como é que é? Ficaram com vergonha, né? Traduz aí. Eles ficaram com vergonha porque eu perguntei para eles e eles tinham apostado no Travis Brown.
They got ashamed because I asked them and they picked Travis before the fight.
Did you ask him that because did you feel like a lot of people were picking Travis Brown in this fight?
Yes, I saw the guys believe what the guy Travis Brown win this fight, but I'm just prove my stand-up too because sometimes the guys say, Verdun is just like a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, I'm just prove one more time. Maybe I won the fight versus Roy Nelson. I prove again. This time again, I like that.
Is that the biggest reason you think that people overlook you is because they think that you're just a jiu-jitsu guy? Is that the main reason why people pick against you think?
Subestimam porque elas acham que tu luta jiu-jitsu.
Maybe, yes, I don't know. I'm very tired today.
One more question. Before you got here, Dana said that he felt that you had an opportunity to finish the fight, but you didn't go after it. You kind of played it safe in the last 2 rounds. Would you agree with him? Were you playing it conservatively, or were you trying to finish him?
Que eu tive a oportunidade.
Antes de tu chegar aqui, o Dana falou que tu perdeu a oportunidade de nocautear ele, de acabar com a luta nos últimos 2 rounds, mas tu estava fazendo um jogo inteligente. Se foi isso que tu planejou fazer, ou se era porque tu não quis?
Yes, I'm just I'm trying not too much risk because I know him is very heavy hands. Yeah, I feel in that. I just smart game because I know this fight is very important for me for my next step. I'm just smart. I know I have a lot of gas for this fight, but I'm just did like a smart fight. That's it.
Dana, we have a knack for officiating here in Florida. Your thoughts on the judges and officials tonight?
Judging was a little goofy early on, but no different than any other place we go.
Pregunta para Joel. Joel, en uno de los rounds dijiste a Tavares que se movieran, que hiciera algo. You told him something in one of the rounds to pick things up. ¿Qué le dijiste? What did you tell him?
No, simplemente lo estaba motivando a que viniera hacia adelante, a pelear, a dar lo que le habíamos prometido al público, ¿no? Que darle lo mejor de sí, darle lo mejor de nosotros. Lo estaba invitando a que viniera.
I was only motivating him to come forward so we could fight, to give the public what the public was asking for, a fight.
Y segundo, ¿cómo te sentiste cuando viste las banderas cubanas en el público? How did you feel about the Cuban flags out there waving?
Wow, lo mismo que puede sentir cualquier ser humano cuando ve su bandera.
The same thing anybody can feel when they see their flag.
Is it just me, or is he the Cuban Godfather? Anybody else get that?
Minha pergunta é para o Verdun. I'm gonna speak in Portuguese. Verdun, queria saber daquele primeiro momento na luta, como é que foi aquele soco que você tomou e a inversão, que foi um movimento rápido que você teve que no primeiro round, logo no primeiro round quando você foi atingido. E como já te perguntaram, né? A gente sabe que principalmente lá no Brasil teve muita gente falando que seu jogo era só o jiu-jitsu. Eu acho que isso te motivou hoje a mostrar, porque você pouco usou até do seu jiu-jitsu. Isso te motivou a buscar uma luta mais em pé?
So first, I would like to ask you about the moment on the first round when he was trying to punch you and you kind of got a hard time. And after, I would like to see if the fact that people underestimate you, talking that you're just a jiu-jitsu fighter, motivates you more.
Eu nem me lembro, na real, que ele me deu um soco, eu caí, assim, eu acho que foi no momento da luta, e eu já tenho aquela meia guarda bem apurada, assim, eu tenho essa mania de raspar, né, de meia guarda, eu me sinto muito confiante para poder raspar, e como tu falou, eu pude mostrar mais uma vez, né, a parte em pé também, e pude mostrar, acho que uma luta bem completa, né. Eu tentei finalizar ele na Kimura, só que ele saiu muito bem, acho que resbalou a minha mão ali, eu tentei segurar, mas não deu. Né, e eu acho que foi o momento da luta mesmo, acho que foi uma luta bem completa, né, a gente pôde mostrar que nós dois somos completos.
In the first moment, I fell in the half guard that I feel very comfortable with because it's a position that I train a lot. And I tried to submit him, and I had a Kimura moment, but he slipped. But I think that was better because we can prove that we're both a completer fighters, and I can show it again to the world that I'm ready and complete, and I can go for the title shot.
Take one more question. Cerrone had to pee. He's knocking down Budweiser as fast as he can over here, and couldn't make it. Go ahead. Sorry, sir.
First question is, Misha, was the original plan to take down Liz, or because you had the advantage? It seemed you have an advantage standing up with her.
I can't see. Say it again.
Was the original plan to take down Liz? Because it seemed that she had an advantage standing up with her.
No, the plan was not to necessarily take down Liz. You know, I've been working really, really hard on my striking, and I've been training with Jimmy Gifford, and he's an amazing striking coach, and I wanted to show that I have been working on that. And, you know, it was a little bit of a frustrating style because I think that Liz didn't want to engage in that. You know, for some reason she wanted to take it to the ground. So I thought we were going to stand and bang a little bit, but, you know, we got caught up on the ground a little bit there. And then once I realized, you know, that she was going to smother and just go for the takedown, I was like, well, I can do that, you know, too. So I figured it out in the third round, and I wanted to stand and trade and show that off. But, you know, that's where the fight went. So, no, it wasn't the game plan to go out and take her down right away.
And Dana, have you ever thought about Cerrone being a coach on the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, I mean, he could be. He'd have to get into that position to, you know. Usually, it's guys who hold titles or have held titles, or. But yeah, I mean, Cerrone's awesome. I love that kid, and yeah, I mean, he could definitely be a coach on the Ultimate Fighter. He's working his way up there. I mean, he's probably you know, in line for another big fight here soon. That might put him in line for a title shot, especially if he fights 6 times this year. I want to thank everybody here at the Amway. These guys have been fantastic. I want to thank all the fans here in Orlando. This was awesome, and I didn't expect it or see it coming. All the media, appreciate it. Shaq Daddy, thanks for your house. Appreciate it. Just in time, it's over. So really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Have a great night.